I'm fine, Count. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So finally, we had a game where close to 350 runs were scored yesterday.
Yeah,
Finally, it
it
felt
was
like we had.
and it was a bizarre game. I mean, if you look at the ball that dismissed John Wells, it still kept low, but yet there were runs scored. So it's a typical Docklands. You don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, probably batting first, they didn't know what would be a par score. Maybe they needed another
Hmm.
10, 15 more runs.
Yeah,
So,
and Finch is
so let's
like the
talk about.
boss of Docklands. So it's his home venue. He delivered again.
As you had rightly predicted, we spoke about both Riley Rousseau's and Finch's fantasy,
Hmm.
performances. Given that
Hmm.
both the sides don't have a wrist spinner or quality
Hmm.
fast bowler, that
Yeah,
come good, and that really happened.
yeah. It is good to
So
see Rosso back amongst runs.
yeah, I mean today Steinus, hopefully he comes good.
Starnes is not in the game today, no? It's Hobart Hurricanes as well, Scorchers.
Okay, so I was looking at the Melbourne Stars game, and then I
Hmm.
got a bit confused. You're right. So it was Patrick Dooley who got. I don't know if I'm sharing my screen.
Hmm.
So it was Patrick Dooley I wanted to talk about,
Hmm.
who got Steinus out for a duck. So let's look at the bowling
Yeah.
performance of the Hobart Hurricanes team the last game. So Riley Meredith, could pull the length back, couple of wickets. But Nathan Ellis, we expected him to come be among wickets during
Hmm.
the last four overs, but that was not to be the case. So what are his chances today?
I think it's a good opportunity for those who own Nathan Ellis because his selection percentage was bizarrely low even in the last game, but it has gone even lower this game. It's at 20%, and at a venue like Launceston where dead ballers have thrived through and through. It's a great day for you to have Nathan Ellis, especially when he's part of the dominant team today. Perth Scratches or the underdogs, considering who they are up against. Hobart Hurricanes are a more all-round team or at their full strength, whereas Perth Scotches have lost Mitchell Marsh. They also do not have Phil Salt. So as their batting depth is hit and their bowling depth, it's kind of doesn't have as many options as it should against a left-hand heavy top order that Hobart Hurricanes has. So it's a good day to have Nathan Ellis in your 11.
And also the the Launceston ground, the University of Tasmania ground. It's a low
Mm.
scoring ground, not many
Mm.
boundaries being hit. I was looking at that venue analysis. So both
Mm.
Shadab Khan and Dooley with a wrist
Mm.
spin would come into play today.
Yeah, I mean, although spinners, leg spinners in the deck haven't had great record, it's funnily enough, it's finger spinners who have thrived at the deck, which brings into play Ashton Agar. But the sheer quality of Shadab Khan and Patrick Dolly could still make a difference.
So let's look at their batting performance last time. So again, Ben McDermott coming up against the bowling attack of Perth Scorchers. What are his chances today?
Really difficult. Again, it's going to be a very difficult game for him because both Behrendorff and Jai Richardson excel at bowling against left-handers in the right-handers in the power play. So McDermott is the only right-hander of the top three, so he's going to be in for a difficult time. And even if he escapes those two, then he'll have to again be up against Ashton Agar and Hatsoglu, who could be in the 11 today because it's not their home game. And even against those two bowlers, he doesn't have, and the bowling types they bowl, he doesn't have a great record. So it will be a surprise if McDermott does well today. And that's one of the things we're banking on in our daily fantasy 11s as well. We have dropped him from our 11, and that's one of the biggest calls considering he is owned by 77% of the managers in the major fantasy websites.
Interesting. And also, I was talking during our last game, Hobart played, and how highly Tim David was talking about Shadab Khan's batting capabilities. So it was not a surprise that he got promoted in the order. So do you expect that to happen today as well? Yeah, sorry, I think we
Hi.
lost you for a bit. Are you back?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what I was asking you was, Tim David was talking about both Shadab Khan's and Asif Ali's batting capabilities, and
Mm,
Shadab Khan got promoted up in the order
mm,
ahead of Tim David,
mm.
and that improves his fantasy chances. But do you think that will happen in today's game as well?
Yeah, as long as Patrick Dooley continues to be part of the 11, or Dooley, or even if they replace him with Stan Lake today, Stan Lake is coming into the squad. As long as that's there, Shadab Khan will be playing at number 4, because that's where he's at his best in the middle overs, one thing. And the other, they'll want to lengthen their batting order by delaying Asif Ali and James Neesham, who are more of pace power hitters and can be used to clear the boundary against full length and good length bowling.
Now you would expect Matthew Wade again to play one of those anchoring innings so
Hmm.
that batsmen like James Neesham, Asif Ali, Tim David can all express themselves around him.
Yeah, Matthew Wade has historically struggled against Perth Scorchers, although that's while playing at the top of the order while opening the innings. Today it's slightly a different role, a role that he has become more accustomed to, and at a venue that's more closer to Hobart Hurricanes than it is to Perth Scorchers. So it could be a decent day for him today, and also considering that he's the one who will be keeping wickets, there are considerations whether we could drop Matthew Wade, but I'd advise not to drop him because of the fact that even with just the gloves, he could give you 20 to 25 points.
That's true. So let's look at Perth Scorchers' batting performance the last game. They won the game.
Mm,
We spoke highly of Adam Lith. He did
mm.
start off with a boundary. What are his chances today?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but if there is someone who could deliver today, it's Adam Lynch is one of those batters because he has an exceptional record in the power play, and the opposition doesn't have as good a new ball bowling attack as Perth Scorchers have, for example, because Joel Paris is their best option and his numbers aren't great. Nathan Ellis and Riley Meredith are more players who bowl through the middle and the depth. If you go, even in the last match, if you look at it, Joel Paris bowled 2 overs in the first 4, and the other 2 were bowled by Patrick Dooley, a spinner. And Hobart Hurricanes realized that too, that they do not have top class new ball bowling options. So this is something I'm expecting Adam Lith to cash in on. And if Duplessis survives Joel Paris, he'll also be coming into play.
Again, an ideal wicket looks like for Fab Duplessis to play probably a 40 ball 50.
Hmm. He looked in good touch last game, but it was always against him because of how the opposition bowling unit was made up. It was full of left-handers in the left-arm pacers in the opposition. Today there is only one, so we could see him doing well.
And also, Josh English is just around a big one.
Josh English should deliver. He's playing at a very safe position. It is also the easiest place to bat, if especially if Perth Scorchers bat first. Over 7 to 16 is going to be the easiest place to bat for them, and just that's where Josh English is positioned, and he's also one of Australia's best players of spin bowling. So if anyone could turn the match against Perth Scorchers today, against Hobart Hurricanes today, it is Josh English.
Again, even though Aaron Hardy scored 55 runs, this is not the kind of the wicket Aaron Hardy could enjoy batting at Launceston.
Mm,
And the number of balls he could face today could be comparatively lower, given the nature
absolutely.
of the wicket and
Mm.
the top batsman expected to come good.
Aaron Hardy's value only really kicks in when he starts bowling. But if you look at this bowling lineup, they have 5 proper bowlers. It's one of the reasons he didn't bowl in the last game as well. So as long as he doesn't start bowling, you can happily leave him out of your 11s, irrespective of what happened the match before that you're going to pick your 11 for.
Yeah, and they have a good fast bowling attack. Look at Jai Richardson's performance last game, 4 for 9.
It's it's tremendous. I mean, he's coming back from an injury. He hasn't played a game for a while, and he comes back and does that to one of the strongest batting lineups in the league. Says a lot about the quality of the bowler that Jai Richardson is.
So again, Ashton Agar's chances that a finger spinner in these conditions bowl a tight line and length that you expect.
Yeah, the last match we took a gamble on him, leaving him out. It didn't affect us as much. But in this game, Ashton Agar is one of the important players in play because historically finger spinners have done well at the venue. And if you look at the opposition, even at the opposition, if at least one of the left-handers get out early, then Ashton Agar comes into play big time. Shadab Khan struggles against left arm spin. Tim David has been moving between extremes. Sometimes he takes left arm orthodox spinners down. Sometimes he falls to them. So there are opportunities for plenty of opportunities for Ashton Agar with the ball today, and even with the bat, considering he's batting in the top seven, there could be some runs in play again.
Yeah. So let's look at the venue sheet. First game at the University of Tasmania. It used to be called the Aurora Stadium earlier, I guess. So we spoke about some traits of the stadium. Just talk us through the sheet, please.
I think it seems from looking at the numbers, it clearly seems like the first innings with the new ball, that's the most difficult period to bat, and it's also one of the reasons why batting second teams have won more matches than those that have batted first. And it's all of the different bowling types have worked at this venue. Express pace has worked, finger spin has worked, even medium pace up front and variations have worked. So it's clearly it has been a venue where bowlers have dominated so far. But we'll have to be careful when analyzing small sample sizes. These venues are constantly improving. The conditions, the groundsmen are consistently working on to make better T20 wickets. So it could change today. So keep that in mind and don't go all in on bowlers based on the 8 game sample size that you have. When you compare it to the mainstream BBL venues like Hobart and MCG, for example, they've all had 35 to 40 matches. So from those sample, you could make reliable conclusions. This is only 8 games, so you should be careful what you're doing with these.
Yeah, Launceston, for uninitiated, it's the town now is a city is where Ricky Ponting is from, and also David Boone is from Launceston. So is their
Interesting.
chief of selectors George Bailey
Wow.
from Launceston. Used to be a mining town. That's
Mm.
how Ricky Ponting's great grandfathers moved there. I would imagine, and he played all his cricket there, and played with Boone a lot. And he talks about how Boone really mentored him and had the opportunity. So my point is that almost 30 years later, uh, for a BBL game to happen and so many stars to come there and play, imagine the opportunity. The school kids are playing cricket; they get to see and they get to soak into the atmosphere. I would imagine soon that you know IPL cricket would be played in inner cities. Like for example, you and me have roots in Dindukal. It's got a good Ranji Stadium now. So imagine if it had an IPL game 5 years down the line, how
Yeah.
big that would be.
Even one of those CSK games when moved to Dindukal could make a massive impact.
Yeah, that's what goes to show the potential and how much our inner cities could grow in the coming years, just driven by cricket alone.
Mm. Mm.
All they have to do
True.
is build a good stadium and create good roadways connecting to the stadium, and once a year event would definitely boost everything there, right? Starting from economy and
Yeah, and
standard of living.
especially for Dindukal, show them the taste of Dindukal biryani so that they keep coming back.
Yeah. So talking about the taste of the nickel biryani, the cost of subscribing to Covers Off on pre-season costs much less than that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you get at the top restaurants in Chennai, it's still lesser than that, and that's why it has been such a good sell so far. We have sold a lot of subscriptions, and people are asking for yearly subscriptions.
And that you said will be available once the coversoff.ai website goes live.
Yeah, we'll be launching, and we'll also be converting the first 1,000 into lifetime subscribers. So the craze for that is people are asking if there is an advance booking that's open so that I can register the spot with some kind of an advance and you could give me the slot.
Interesting. So, looking at the matchups, having discussed the both the team's performance in the last game, um, talk us through the matchups. What are the key matchups for the game today?
I think the first thing is, as we discussed before, Ben McDermott against Jai Richardson and Dorf. He's going to have one hell of a time. The other thing is that Jai Richardson and Dorf was not, or Barendorf are not as good a ballers against left-handers. So it will be relatively easier for Darcy Shard and Matthew Wade, which is why we have them in our 11 today. And also the fact that if you go lower down the order, Shadab Khan will be coming in at number 4, and his biggest threat is going to be Ashton Agar's left arm spin, because the other bowling types he can handle. There is not express pace. Express pace is one of the bowling types against which he struggles. If when you drag the length back, Perth Scorchers do not have a lot of it. So Agar is the one who should take care of Shadab Khan. And Tim David doesn't have a lot of issues. He'll have to maybe move the line wide of him so that he spoons it somewhere around the offside. But apart from that, there is nothing. There is no real threat for him as well. When you come to Perth Scorchers, for example, obviously the one that everyone has been discussing throughout the last couple of years is Faf du Plessis against left arm pace. His record continues to get worse and worse. And the one advantage that he has today is the opposition only has one left arm pace bowler, who is Joel Paris, and he himself doesn't have a great record in the with the new ball. If he escapes that, then you could see a lot of runs being scored. And as you can see, Shadab Khan is marked rigged against both Adam Lith and Ashton Turner. So he's going to be an important option bowling through the heart of the innings. And if Paddy Dooley plays, Dooley could also come into play as well.
Given Adam Lith could play his game in the top 6 to 8 overs, he may not have to face Shadab Khan and Pat Dooley too much today.
Yeah. I think if Adam Lith, he could get off to a quick start. He could be at 25 to 30 even before the wrist spinners start becoming a problem.
Yeah. So talking about Fab du Plessis, uh, continued performance against left arm, quality left arm pace bowling. To think of it the other way, for him to even get better, the resources of that type are so scant to be available as net bowlers. For you to get better at that part of that skill. So I'm guessing this is where franchisees should be investing into and talking about games in Dindukal or inner cities. I think the talent hunt program has to solve the problem, like how Natarajan came through. So every setup needs to have a bowler like Natarajan, whether he's playing in the 11 or not, but at least to help players like Faf du Plessis sort out their issues in their game, because they're extremely important resources. Players like Faf du Plessis, especially if he's going to play only half the season for Perth, it's even more important for a franchise to make sure that Faf has all the resources to perform well when he's playing
Yeah.
for the franchise. I think this is
Well,
where
if
the
I,
game. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, he has historically done well against left arm pace. It's in the last couple of years that things have started turning. So it's quite bizarre considering his record during when he was active in the international arena.
So let's go into the fantasy sheet. I think we are like 10 minutes away from the toss.
The
So,
toss, yeah, it seems like it's already complete. In BBL, it happens 45 minutes before, for whatever reason we do not know.
okay.
But it seems like Hobart Hurricanes have won the toss and opted to bat.
Yeah, Hobart Hurricanes have opted to bat, and this is the playing 11 of Hobart
It's the same
Hurricanes.
one.
It's the same 11 as they had for the last game. So let's wait for the Perth Scorchers 11 to come out. In the meantime, why don't you talk to us through the fantasy sheet?
Yeah. Okay, this one. Yeah. Okay, the thing is that we have gone straight away for two wicket keepers, because one thing, they could get a lot of fielding points, and they are also quality batters on their own, so we do not want to miss out on it. The other thing is that we have gone for three all rounders in this game. Ashton Agar and Shadab Khan is self-explanatory. they bowl and they bat, so it will be silly to miss out on them. Darshad is in because sometimes what the way he plays may not help the teams much, but he's someone who can accumulate and give his fantasy owners a lot of points. And considering the opposition doesn't have quality new ball options against left-handers, this is a day where he could get if he gets out of power play, then all he has is Atsoglu and Ashton Agar, two spinners who are not as good against left-handers as they are against right-handers. So he could score a few runs. He could get a 35 to 40, which could turn out to be game-changing for those who hold him. Then we have moved on to batters. Batters we only have because, again, as I've been speaking about, in most platforms demand at least three batting options, which is why we have Faf du Plessis, Tim David, and Adam Lith. We have dropped McDermott because we have discussed this a number of times before, and I do not want to repeat the same. And then to the bowlers, it depends on the. It is difficult. It was difficult for us to select three options before the toss because we didn't know what was going to happen at the toss. One thing, the other, there is not a lot of numbers that's available at this venue. It's only 8 matches. So now that the toss is out, we can decide who our three bowlers are going to be. Perth Scorchers, if the Perth Scorchers 11 is out, then we can finalize who our three bowlers are going to be. With Hobart
Let's
Hurricanes batting
let's
first,
go.
I think.
Yeah, the Perth Scorchers 11 is not published as yet. I still
Mm.
have only Hobart Hurricanes 11. So, so let's look at their squad in the meantime. So, do you expect they would make any changes? Like we're expecting Peter Hatzoglu to make it to the 11 today.
There is a chance he
Oh,
could play
oh,
ahead of Matt Kelly.
there is 11. Yeah, he's in. Peter Hatzoglu is in.
Interesting. Yeah.
There is 11.
Kelly is out, so it's very much along the expected lines. That's the only
Yeah.
change. So considering
Let
Hobart
me
Hurricanes are batting first, it's important to have Jai Richardson because he is their best bowler. So Jai Richardson is already there, and I think I'm going to stick with both Ellis and Meredith. It's because I do not know why Hobart Hurricanes have selected to bat first because historically this is where opening batters in the first innings have struggled. Maybe the deck is changing, so I just want to be safe and back the bowlers from the stronger team. Nathan Ellis also turns out to be a differential. He's only owned by 20% of managers, and Riley Meredith's pace has always worked at this venue. So this is going to be my 11. Whatever is already there is going to be my 11.
Brilliant. So, with that done, since the toss is and the playing 11 is also announced, let's go and play Fanex.
Yeah.
Let me connect my phone. Before we go into today's game, let's look at the performance of yesterday's game. So we had Fan Code who won 250 rupees yesterday. So congratulations, Fan Code.
I think
And
the
we
funny
have
thing is that I think those who had Rosso were at the top till the like the last 4 to 5 hours. Then Finch went again, and the entire table changed.
yeah, and it's very interesting to see. So the winner has Finch and Daniel Sams, but the five players who are tied at number two. So they have a combination. They have Finch, Gurinder Sandhu in this case. You'll see again. So you have Riley Russo and Daniel Sams combination. So that's where it's very interesting. So whom you pick as your batsman and whom you pick as a player, and as a combined score, you could finish in the top of the leaderboard or even the top 10 of the leaderboard. You win cash.
Yeah.
So let's look at today's game. There are also for users who are downloading Fanex for the first time, you get 500 coins, and you have two super contests that are running. Both of are cash. You don't have to, if you already have used your free entry, you can pay 60 coins to join the India Bangladesh game. that starts in Dhaka in 2 days' time. So there is a total prize pool of 2,000 rupees, and there are two contests. The first contest is already filling in. There are only 13 spots available, but we have created another contest. 27 spots have already filled in. There are totally 200 contests. So both the games got a good price structure, price payout structure. Let me show you the new one. So the winner gets 500 rupees, and the second and the third place, the second place. Now the two winners who are tied for the second place, they share 250 rupees each, and for the third place tied for five winners, they get 100 rupees each, and for 10 players who are tied at fourth position, they get 50 rupees each. So you know who did well. Kuldeep Yadav picked up wickets. We have Cheteshwar Pujara who scored a century in the first test. So we will talk more about the India-Bangladesh game in our tomorrow show and also a day after show. But please go ahead and join these contests. So today's contest we have between the Hurricanes and the Scorchers. So the total prize pool is 1,500 rupees. Just cost you 60 coins to join. So let's look at the prize payout. So the winner actually takes home 600 rupees compared to the yesterday's contest where it was for 250 rupees. So for the winners who are tied for the second place, for five of them, six of them, they get 100 rupees each. And for winners who are tied in the third place, 10 of them, they make 30 rupees. So again, like yesterday's contest, you just have to pick up the batsman who will score the maximum number of runs and take the highest number of wickets. So let me go ahead and join the contest based on the inputs I'll just share on the show. So Al, you were spot on with Finch yesterday. So who would you go with today?
I just chose my Phoenix players. I've gone with Tim David and Nathan Ellis.
Tim David and Nathan Ellis. So I'm going to go with Adam Lith
Hmm.
because I really like the way he got started, and you speak very highly of him. So when he's
It was a
opening the
glorious
innings,
shot. Yeah.
yeah, expect him to come good. And in terms of wickets, Jay Richardson had a dream spell. But in this deck, I would expect Shadab Khan or Peter Hatzlow to pick up wickets. So I'm going to go with Shadab Khan. So that's it. I've joined the contest. So I can go and see all the contests I've joined in the law upcoming section, upcoming tab. And now we have 37 entries. There are about 63 more entries, and this contest would close. So it would be great to see some of our viewers download the app and join the contest with you, Al.
Yeah. I mean, I already sent out invites in our preseason channel, and it picked up very well after that.
And you were also planning to start, creating private contests that users
Hmm.
could play with you. So
Yeah.
talk to us about that a bit more.
We are easing users in at the moment, new users, because it's a new. Our subscribers want to get used to it, and once they are used to it, once they understand how it goes, by the end of the week we'll be starting cash contests where entries will range from as low as 100 to as high as to 1,000 for now.
And if our viewers are interested to join the contest, how do they get in touch with you?
It could be through preseason group. We have channels. We have channel there. We have a separate thread for Fanix, or you could just DM me on Twitter.
Sounds good. So that's it on today's show. Al, thank you so much for joining in.
Hmm. Yeah.
Enjoy the game and have a good day ahead.
Thank you.
All right, take care then. Bye.
Bye.